For the past 2 years, there have been public claims made about me by you, Motolani, aka Sefi, that are not true. And I have stayed silent this whole time, but I keep getting dragged back in drama with you. I am choosing to speak now, clearly and once, and move forward from it. I'm going to start by briefly explaining how this situation began. In November 2024, Motolani, you approached me after an event in Lagos and expressed interest in being friends and collaborating with me on projects. I was open to that. I, at the time, I was trying to build community with people who shared similar creative and lifestyle interests, and you are the first woman I met in real life within that space that seemed to align with me the most. We spent a short period of time around each other, roughly a couple of weeks physically, and about a month in total contact. During that time, I believed that we were building a genuine friendship and creative partnership. Over time, your behavior toward me became inconsistent. Communication was unclear, and I eventually began to distance myself, albeit reluctantly. The final turning point for me came when I learned from people around you, that is your neighbors, that you had been speaking negatively about me while presenting something different to me directly. After that, I addressed my experience online with a series of crash out tweets. I later took those posts down and chose to move on, as advised by some people who knew me. Shortly after, you made accusations about me publicly, and those accusations have followed me for the past 2 years. So I want to address them directly and clearly. Number one, I never used crystal meth in your house. Number two, I didn't break your door. It was broken since the day you moved into that apartment. And in fact, I supervised it being fixed the day it was fixed because you were physically absent and you asked me to help you do so. A request I happily fulfilled because I thought you were my friend. I did not steal your generator or your inverter. You sold your generator by yourself and used me to facilitate its successful removal from your house. And at the time, you told me that the money you got from selling it is what you were going to add to get your inverter. And your inverter was still at your house when I left. And the day that you accused me of stealing your inverter, I was at that time on a train back to Ibadan. I did not sexually harass or assault you. We were both very open with each other about our sex lives. We traded a lot of stories. And still the boundaries were very clear and never overlapped. At the time, and you never expressed any displeasure or discomfort at walking in on me. You even laughed about it and so did I. On several occasions when I would notice your countenance change and ask you if I did anything wrong, you would say no and claim to be splitting or having an episode. All your claims are untrue. And given the seriousness of these claims, I also find it important to note that you have never taken any formal or legal action against me, even though you have sued other people for less. All you have done is push the "she is a drug addict" narrative and clamor for me to be put on some sex offenders list because you see me as a competitor in the adult content industry that you need to squash, even though I have not been mostly active since what happened between us happened. Even before we were in contact, I have always been open about my past and my personal journey, having no cares to hide the details commonly considered as shameful or sordid. But I did not engage in any of the behaviors I have been accused of by you. I have always been direct in how I relate to people, and there has never been any confusion about my intentions. You are just chasing clout with my name out of spite. Looking back, I take responsibility for my own decisions. I should have listened to my intuition when it warned me about engaging with you at all, even online. I should have disengaged immediately you started playing hot and cold instead of running after you. And I should never have brought the situation online, even in reaction. That should have been my last life saving sign to cut ties with you quickly and quietly. Those are my own lessons. But being publicly misrepresented for 2 years is not something that I will accept carrying forward. This situation came from an extremely misaligned interaction which should have been avoided. For a long time, I have internalized the stories you told about me. It affected how I saw myself, how I related to others, and how I moved through the world. And I unknowingly gave you even more things to twist against me when one of those failed friendships went public in 2025. But I am no longer carrying that. I know who I am. I know what I did and did not do. And I am choosing to move forward without this attached to me. That is all I have to say to you, Motolani.